planning on talking about Happy New Year, or fuck it list for 2026.
Bucket list. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
been thinking about this. I wouldn't say a lot, but enough because I can feel the shedding happening here. I have already told myself this is my place of rest. This is very much a
Puerto
place
Rico.
where I choose to do less and sort of take away the things that are no longer this version of me or serving me in any sort of way. And so I've been thinking about like, fuck that.
You're saying fuck it to being slow, or fuck it to being busy?
Being busy,
Yeah. You're
even
embracing
just
the slow there.
moving fast. Yesterday, I was trying to move so speedily that I left my keys in my car and I saw them. I came inside and I put the keys to the house on the table and I was like, oh, fuck, where are my car keys? And so then go in my car and they're sitting on the seat. And I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Had I just not been in such a rush and there was no purpose for it either,
Yeah.
I would have remembered. And so now I've gone the, fucking quintessential coat rack, coat hanger thing. And I'm outside breaking into my own car. And the guy across the
You
street's like,
actually
what are
left
you
them in.
doing? And I was like, I left my keys in my car. So then 3 men come to help me.
Yes. Thank you,
One of
man.
them must be a fisherman because he fished. First, we were trying to get the unlock thing because it's an old car. So it's not like there's no buttons. It's like you pull it and it unlocks. First, we were trying that, didn't work. And then we tried the door handle. Come to find out when I get inside the car, even if I pulled the door handle, it wouldn't have unlocked the door. So great, because we were wasting our time anyways. And so instead, he fished my keys through
Great.
the little wedge in the door. And that was it. And I was like, oh, nice.
Wow. That's lucky. Thank you, Ben.
Sometimes I'm hopeless, and that's okay. Doesn't bother me. Come help me. Fucking help me.
That's one of my things. That's fuck it in 2026 being the be all end all in my life. Like, someone come and help me.
For sure. He
Just
came over and I
anybody.
instantly handed it. Here's the hammer. Here's the coat hanger.
Here, take it. Please do
I'm
this for
gonna
me.
watch
I've already proved to myself that I'm very capable of
everything.
controlling everything in my own life. I don't want that anymore. I want some help. I don't even know what it is. I want to say companionship, but I'm not sure if it's that. Because I have that in some of my friends, but
And I wouldn't consider it company. It's more,
yeah,
it's assistance. It's assistance. That's all.
yeah. And I think with that just comes the awareness to ask for it, ask for help. We've talked about that before. We don't need to go down that road again. But I want to tell you something that Lennon was doing on the drive here because it was really funny. She had a pair of sunglasses and she put them on sideways. And she had my phone because she was in charge of the music. So she was playing Spotify. And she was like, I'm Mom. She's I'm Mom. Where's my keys? Where's my phone? Oh, my phone's in my hand. She's like, oh, I gotta go back in the house. Had me dialed. I was laughing so hard. Yeah, and like sideways, just frazzled. Like, well, this is how you see me.
That's pure gold. Again, children are such mirrors to ourselves. Like, wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, and you want to know why I'm frazzled? Because you're not picking up your own fucking backpack and taking it to the car. And you don't know where your own boots are. And you don't know where your jacket is.
Really. I mean,
help me out
for
a little bit.
Potentially that's part of the assistance as well. It's like, where do you draw the line of I'm no longer going to be your end all be all. Start doing things.
Yeah, you are 7 years old. Figure this shit out. And yeah, I actually did the sweetest thing. Whispered to Jane because Jane was like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? Lennon said something along the lines of wanting to help Mom more because she does so much and she's so busy. Yeah. So now, though, nice words to say. Where's the action, bitch?
Yeah. Now you just remind her, remember what you asked for Christmas?
Yeah.
The door is open.
What else is on
I
the
feel
bucket
that.
list?
On my bucket list, and I'm actually proud of myself because I did it. I did this yesterday and I was like, wow, old me would have never done that. I'm saying fuck it for sure to freezing upon my, it's not even fears, but that's the easy way to put it. Like freezing in the face of my fears or things that make me uncomfortable. I got a letter and I read it and I was like, I could just throw this away. Totally just put this in the fucking trash. Because that's what mine normally would do. Like, out of sight, out of mind, 1000% for my ADHD brain. But instead, I was like, no, I'm going to make a call instead and find out what the fuck this is about and what do I need to do about it. And I was like, once I was done, I was like, that was nothing. And then I was like, man, it was nothing, but the whole thing of it was the big thing. It wasn't the phone call that obviously once you actually put action to a thing that feels really big, you see how small it actually is. And it's like, okay, we just need to make some appointments and that is all. But you make a mountain out of a molehill. And so you finally get to see that it's just a little anthole. But the thing that was big was that I didn't pretend like it didn't exist because I'm really good at pretending. Very, very, very good. Whether it's, and this was health related, whether it's health related or just, I think things that are like really scary to me are things like that, health related or finance related, where it's just I feel very in over my head. And especially because it's topics and areas that I'm not well versed in. There are a lot of things that I know, but there's a lot of things that I don't know in regards to like physical well-being. Shit I can't understand, shit that doesn't make sense to my brain. And so I'd rather, prior to, pretend like it's not real or it doesn't exist or like it's not on my radar and I can just figure it out. I don't have to be scared.
No.
Part of me is scared that, and I think it's a control thing. I'm not going to get the results that I want or the effects that I want to have or the conclusion that I would prefer. But I'm still having the conclusion that I would prefer not, by having nothing happen and pretending like it doesn't exist.
Good one.
So I'm no longer postponing my reality. I'm living in my reality.
Good one. I love that. This year for me, as you know, has been interesting. Lots of change this year. The most change of all, probably. And I feel as though I was wildly patient this year. Like patient to my detriment.
Couldn't concur more.
Yeah. So I'm not willing to be that patient in 2026. So whatever that looks like, I haven't figured it out quite yet or put it into words, I guess, because it's not going to be words. It's going to be actions, obviously. But I'm not going, and it all encompasses something a little bit more than just patience. I think it also is, I am also wildly optimistic. And it's just my go-to. I assume the best in people. I project. I will see potential before I see reality. And then I will feed the potential instead of receive the reality. So I'm not willing to do that anymore. And I know it's going to take practice for sure. And I know it's going to take and potentially change a lot of relationships that I have right now. But I really want to put more trust in people when they decide to show me who they are, for good and bad, instead of trying to create some version of the situation that works for me or that I would hope would work for me or for the collective or whatever. The delulu does not need to be trululu. Mm-hmm.
I've realized how, and this isn't just like fuck it for 2026. This is going to be for the rest of my life until I figure out how to move in a different way. But I've realized how entrenched I've been in, I guess, in the melding and the engrossment of my life with whoever I'm in a relationship with. And so when those things come apart, I notice how much it fucks my own shit up.
Oh God, it's been my whole last decade. Do you mean intimate relationship or just
Yes.
relationship? Yeah.
No, like partner wise. And because I put so much, similarly to your patients, I wouldn't even use the word loyal to a fault, but I am
I am.
balls
I
in
get that.
to a fault.
Devoted.
Devoted to a fault.
Yeah.
Everything I have, I want to give. Every last bit, whether it's my time, my energy, my money, my space, my own well-being, all of it, I pour it out like I have endless supplies of it. And I'm realizing now that it's a pattern, and I don't want that to be a pattern anymore, especially in the financial sense. I have engrossed someone else's financial well-being into my own as well to create a stability that's just not real. And so when that falls apart, now it looks like my whole shit is apart. Why is it that I feel like I need to rebuild my whole life and my financial stability because I'm not with somebody? That is pissing me off right now. It's irking my brain
That's
so much.
out of character. It's out of character, but not because it is your character, but you're realizing it's your character now so you can do something about it.
Right. I think that's why I'm so hell-bent on being financially literate in 2026, because I never want that to be a part of my experience again. Like, my lane is my lane, and that's where I'm going to stay. And I'm only going to give from a place of, because I want to, not out of what I feel like is obligation, and not because there's no such thing as the right thing to do. I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do, and it's not that. It's really, really not that.
That's a good one. I like that one. I can agree with that to some level. I gave absolutely every ounce of my soul to my marriage. I probably came across as a complete schizo, actually. Well, because every single thing that was a complaint, I was like, okay, well, I'll do the opposite. I'll do exactly what you're asking for. I'll be exactly who you want me to be this week, whoever that is. Let's see. I tried every single thing I could to make that work for him, but not for me. And so that was the big, so what did I even then? Did I give every ounce? Because that doesn't make sense all of a sudden. Because if I didn't do anything for me, then it's not even real. Yeah, well, it's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. I mean, always, back to like, it's not always an absolute.
No, but I definitely put it all on the table in that aspect too, and to my detriment, because I would try to be somebody that he described that he would want as an example. That wasn't sustainable to me because it wasn't me, but I did it anyhow to see if it would help the relationship. I won't do that again. Won't be doing that.
Yeah. Takes me back to when we were in Austin, and we were talking about letting somebody else lead. And I feel like that's such a layered thing, because as much as that, I feel like, yes, obviously that is true, but also there has to be a level of trusting that person to lead as well. And them giving you examples of the leadership that rings true to you, right? There's different forms of leadership, and the one that actually resonates with me, I'll say this, at least for myself, like, I have to see that first now and know that I can put that trust into your hands, because I was doing it backwards. There was untrust. And then I was like, well, maybe if I give him trust, things will be great. But it's like, you showed me that you were untrustworthy. And instead of seeing the reality of that, I gave you something that I shouldn't have in the first place.
Right. But trust is such It's literally everything. And so I think
Literally.
that's another kind of layer to the, I'm going to trust people when they show me who they are.
Right. Yes,
I'm not
exactly.
going to force the trust, because if it's not there, it's not there. It either is or it isn't. And you can have all of it at the beginning. Doesn't matter who you are. It can be a partner, it can be intimate, it can be a friendship, it can be work, it can be any type of relationship. You have all of my trust, right? Your actions are going to show me whether or not you get to keep it.
I don't know why that just reminded me, and this isn't necessarily about trust, but it's the visual is very similar. When I was in middle school, I don't know why this was a thing, but it was either our principal or our vice principal made us all do this exercise, and he called it I lack. And it was a piece of paper, and you wrote ILAC on it. And so it stood for I am lovable and capable. But also because the acronym was I lack, every
Yeah.
time you did something or told yourself or gave yourself an example of not being lovable and capable, you were supposed to tear a piece off of that paper. And so you get to see essentially what you're left with after all of the thoughts and all of the words and all of the actions for the day. And so it's like a visual representation of, the reason I'm bringing this up is similar with trust, right? Your paper is full. It's a full
Mm-hmm.
piece of paper, but every time there is a reality of that being different, a piece of that paper shreds off
It's
until
torn
you get to
away.
see what the reality is. Right? How much of the paper is left, how much of that trust is actually left.
So do you think it can be redeemed?
I do, but I believe that similarly to a repairing of something, for example, this cup, I don't know if you can tell, was broken at one point. So there are cracks all over the place. So sure, you can put the glue and repair the cup and fill in the cracks, but one, never the same cup. Two, the repairing of something is a different process than it is in the making of something. You've got nothing and you turn it into something. But once you have something and it starts to tear apart and then you try to make it back to its original form, it is not. It is no longer that. So now it's something different. And so while the trust can be built, it's going to be different. Something is always going to be different. And potentially, I'm not even saying it's going to be a negative difference, potentially it could exponentially be better because cracks happened and now you get to rebuild and repair in a new way that feels better. And so it's not to say that it's a bad thing, but it's always going to be different and you have to be okay with it being different in some sort of way.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually be okay with it, not pretend to be okay with it and then bring up whatever was the problem over and over again, because then that's not,
Yeah,
that's
you're
not,
look at these cracks.
look at
Like
that.
you cracked my cup.
Do you remember this chip?
Right, right. Because I am
Yeah.
the queen of holding all my shit for life. We'll remember the time, the date, and the season. It was raining on that Tuesday, the day you said this
See,
thing.
sometimes for me, it's just goodbye.
No, not
I
I.
don't necessarily hold on to things, but when I'm done with something, I'm done with it. Also, that's just, I don't know if that's just a Gemini trait or what, but it's, if I've decided wholeheartedly on something, I will never look at it again. It's
Mm,
gone. And
hmm
people will be gone too. Like
mm,
that's just, I'm pretty good at that. Once I've decided, it's the deciding that takes a lot of time for me
yeah.
and a lot of
Yes.
deliberation.
Well, that's what I was going to say too about the trust factor is that it's going to take way more time to bring it back than it did to ever tear it apart. Because you have to find the solution, right? You tear a piece of paper off, it's not like you can just put the pieces back together and it's done. You have to either look for tape or glue or something else that's going to hold it up. It's not the same as tearing it off. There's has to be something else to bring that piece back in.
Yeah. And sometimes it's straight up just a mistake, but sometimes it actually was a fucking lifetime of things that led up to the tear,
Right.
so it could potentially take a long time to get to that.
Hmm.
And an equal amount of time to repair it. But yeah, I agree. I think it can be. I think it could be. What else for 2026? It's not really a fuck it. Well, I don't know. Is it? I don't want to be so tight in my body. So fuck that. I have been doing back bends almost every day. I want to be able to do a back walkover in 2026 again. So that requires a full drop back and then kick over. Yeah. So it feels doable, actually. The thing that is the weakest point, and there's some fear there, is my knee, because it has to bear the load.
Yeah. As you go back.
And there's that like forward, like slidey movement that without an ACL feels weak, but I have a knee brace that has become my new BFF. I refused to wear it for so many years because I'm like, I need a knee brace. And then I fucking blew my knee out to get on the ski hill a couple years ago, like an idiot. And when I went snowboarding recently, I put it on and I was like, I'm just going to give it a shot. I am 41 years old.
And also, who cares?
I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to prove.
Who fucking cares?
Well, I cared because in my head I was like,
but again,
because
why?
Because I have these unrealistic standards of who and how I show up to life. Come on.
Yeah.
You know
but
me.
It's also similar to all the things. It's also a preventative of how you show up.
I know. That's the part that's fucking stupid. So anyways, I put it on and it was great. I'm like, yes, knee brace. So even if I have to wear my knee brace while I do this back walkover, great. At least it'll hold it in place. But I know too that it doesn't, the more flexible I get in my spine, the less it will depend. The less I need to depend on my knee. So that's something else just for funsies.
In respect to my body and things like that, I still do. And I used to a lot be super concerned with how much I can lift or the weights of things. And it has to be a certain way. And I'm lifting with bars and all of these very essentially masculine things. And while that's still good and great, one, I don't have any of that stuff here. And so it's sort of forced me to think about how I use my body very differently. And so I am very much allowing for more, and I say gentle in the sense that it's not load bearing, hard hitting, heavy things, but gentle in the sense of rather than lifting something heavy, slower movements, deliberation, actually having the full on connection from my body to my mind, which has always been really active and important for me, especially in terms of lifting, because that's how you don't hurt yourself is making sure that you have that connection. But it was never the focus. It was always the subproduct of, I know this is important in order for me to lift heavier or not get hurt, rather than this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm slowly moving my body with just my body in order for me to feel it and to activate it. And also to, I mean, always not to hurt myself, but because I want to have the relationship with it rather than it just being a tool for me. It's not as much as it is a tool, it also is me. I am my body and my body is me. And so I don't want to use it. Right. Because when you start using it, to me, that just, it sounds like I don't appreciate it. When you use someone, there's a lack of respect there, right? And so even just that thought of I'm using my body doesn't feel nice to me right now. So I've been very gentle. I don't have a yoga mat here, which I was like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? But I have yoga socks and yoga gloves. And so I've just been doing
the floor.
Well, no, it's fairly impossible because the floor it's tile. You will slip on your ass. No doubt about it.
The grass.
You will slip on your ass. Everything is concrete here. We don't really have grass. Yeah. I'll show you my backyard later. So I found my gloves and my feety things and I was like, oh my gosh, yay. And so I just did mobility stretching.
Yeah.
Making sure that
you know me and my handstands.
Yeah.
Like doing a handstand for me is that.
Yeah.
I know where
too, that is like so I do this mobility program essentially, and that is one of the end goals is to just be able to do a handstand. It's not necessarily I don't really put goals on things like that, but that's the work towards, essentially, is being able to do a handstand. Great. I love
Nothing feels better to me than being upside down. Like I
Mm.
love it. I love being on my hands. I love walking on my hands. I love being so straight and like act that you just are standing on your hands.
Yeah.
That to me, because I can feel every tiny little shift in my shoulders and my hips and my feet and where my feet are. And that's where I feel the most connected to my body for sure. Yeah.
Because you
And the
have to
most
be.
present. Yeah.
Right. Like you fully have to be. Otherwise, you're not up. You're
Otherwise,
definitely
yeah, you're
down.
not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I can appreciate this.
Yeah. Yeah. So these slower, controlled movements with specificity, not just I'm going to build something. It's like, no, I don't struggle with coming up from a squat, but I never want to struggle with it either.
Right. Yeah, that part. And then
You know?
especially, being around aging parents and seeing the just fucking drastic, ugh, I can't,
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about
No,
it.
I know.
It's
I
just
so feel that.
disappointing.
I would say that's true more for my mother than my father. Like the reason so many of the things that I do are because I've seen my father do it. And what's annoying about him is that he doesn't do it intentionally, although I think it's very like subconscious to him. And so I've seen my father, but he's been squatting my whole life. He just sits
Mm,
in a squat for no fucking reason.
great.
That's just
Super good for your joints.
that's his natural state of being. He just like is in a squat with a beer in his hand. Like those two things. When I think
Yeah,
of my father, that's what I think of. Him in a squat and a beer.
with a beer.
And
That's fucking
so
solid.
my dad's 73 years old. I'm pretty sure he can still do a squat and get up out of it and be fine. And so that level of mobility is something that I also want to maintain. And how do we do that? Obviously, is always being in a squat, always being able to get up from that position and not losing that tendency. And so sitting down all the time, I want to step away from that. It doesn't have to, I'm not trying to like go run a marathon, but like walking for the most of a majority of my day. I want to go outside and walk just for the fuck of it and stretch these tight hip
Hammies,
tendons.
little hammies, your adductors,
Yeah.
yeah, what are those ones?
More so my hip flexor than
Hip
anything.
flexors. Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to
Yeah.
do at gymnastics, we had to do like, we'd sit in a V. I'm in a V sit right now. And you put your little fingies on the ground and just hip flexor to strengthen them. But fuck, did they
Yeah.
get tight? Yeah. And
Totally.
just like lift your heels off the ground.
I love that. So what I like to do is I'll put a candle in front of me and I just lift my leg over the candle. And so I use the candle so that I know it's
Yep.
dangerous, but I do it on purpose because like I'm very fucking scared.
Great. That's your lean into your fear.
No, for sure. And so like I use the candle and I go really slow because the slower I go, the more control I have over it, essentially, rather than trying to go really fast and I could catch the flame. And so I go slow, I bring it over, I put it down, do the same
Wow.
thing, and then I do the next
That's
one.
very interesting.
It's it's a little game. It's a little game I like to
Leave
play. I
it
don't do it.
to Abmari to literally play with fire.
The candle's like it's pretty short, and over time, intend to just make the candle a little bit taller.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
So that's my hip
It's
mobility.
because just exercises aren't
Right.
enough. There has to be some element of danger.
Otherwise, I'm not there. I'm not involved.
Yeah, he was not interested. Yeah, if there's no danger, what's the fucking point? Do you have a word for 2026? Anyways, my word is fortify.
Fortify.
Yeah. It has multiple meanings, but the main one really is just like, the main one is not only in my career, like, with all the changes that even happened in 2025, I want to make sure I don't need to be wildly successful. Success to me is that the money is going in this direction, not this direction.
Right.
And I'm still doing all of the things I want to do in my life. Like I'm buying all of the things I want to buy. I'm doing all the things I want to do. And I don't have to want to worry about money, period. That to me feels like freedom and success. I don't need to have hordes of it, but I need enough. So Fortify is part of that, building that foundation and that structure. Like fortifying a castle, basically. It's
That's what
going
I
to
was
be
thinking.
impenetrable. And so that's one meaning. But then the other meaning is that same kind of energy for me and the girls in our house, in our spaces, in the things that we're doing. I just want to feel that across the board, not just in my career, but in life with them, in friendships, in relationships. Fortify.
I like this. Okay.
Mhm.
This has given me inspiration. And I will say my word is less, it's not an action, it's something that I can look upon. So I'm deciding right now, my word is diamond.
But yes, all that pressure.
Well, it's multifaceted in real,
It
actually.
cuts.
Exactly. And so, one, obviously, it's bright, it's shiny, it's beautiful, it reflects light, it brings joy, it's luxurious, it's all of these beautiful things. And also, it has the strength to cut through so many things. There's a strength to it. There is similarly like an impenetrability to it. And it's solid but soft. And so that's the, you know, I don't want to say goal, but that's the embodiment that I want to have, is of a diamond.
Yeah. Nice. I love. And obviously we're just gonna do better
And we're doing better all the
all
time.
the time.
And
Every
if
day.
you want to do better too, check out our merch.
Every time I do this, and then every
You do
podcast
nothing.
I edit, I do nothing because I can't. We can't.
Yeah. Like
We
you
don't
can
have.
only
We
you
don't
can
have enough
only
followers in order to do that. We need like a certain
to do a tile.
amount of. No, to like link a link.
I see. Really? No kidding.
Yeah, I think it's based on followers. So fucking follow us.
Fucking
Jesus Christ, what are
You know
you
what?
guys waiting
We're gonna
for?
stop pretending like we don't want shit. We're gonna start asking for shit. Fucking follow us. We said it didn't matter and it doesn't matter, but also just fucking do it. Just fucking do it.
Like, why wouldn't you? Is the question.
That is the question. Why wouldn't you? Like, what's
Why wouldn't you? What's the big deal?
stopping you?
Plus, this is a blast. We
We're
are
a
a blast
blast
to
in a
you.
glass. I used to say that all the time. A blast in a glass.
That's why your cup's broken.
I think this is my grandpappy's cup.
Grandpappy. Holy fuck.